Do you ever feel that something deep inside is trying to warn you that this relationship is not meant for you, yet your heart insists on holding on? The universe speaks, and angels whisper to your heart signs that you often ignore. Today, I will reveal 5 angelic signs that he is not the right man for you. As you listen to every word, open your heart, because this might be the answer you have been silently asking for. Angels always find a way to protect us. They don't scream, they don't force, they simply place sensations in our soul that, if we pay attention, are as clear as the sun. The first sign happens when your peace disappears every time he is around. True love calms, it brings rest to the heart, it fills your chest with safety. But if what you feel is anxiety, insecurity, and fear, that is not love. It is a warning. Angels place this weight in your intuition as a clear alert. Real love should never be a constant inner battle, but a safe resting place for the soul. When you find yourself looking in the mirror and no longer recognizing your own light, that is the second sign. Angels always want your essence to shine, your energy to flourish. But if he criticizes you, belittles you, makes you feel small or unworthy, it is as if he slowly extinguishes your inner flame. A true partner is the one who feeds your light, not the one who dims it. Angels blow this discomfort into your soul so you realize this is not where your journey is meant to stay, because love that imprisons is not love. It is an invisible cage. The third angelic sign appears in absence, silence, and distance. You give, you dedicate your time, your care, your love, but nothing seems enough to keep him present. He disappears, shows indifference, makes you feel like you need to beg for crumbs of attention. Angels know that love is not a lonely battle. When only one side carries the weight of the relationship, the balance can never hold. They place barriers, separations, and distance so you can see clearly. If your presence is always questioned and your absence is never felt, he is not the right one for you. Angels also use other people as mirrors of truth. The fourth sign appears when family, friends, or even strangers point out what you refuse to see. It is as if angels lend human voices to open your eyes. When everyone around you shows concern, when everyone sees something in him that you keep denying, that is not coincidence. It is divine intervention. Angels never stop speaking, but often they choose unexpected paths so the message can finally reach you. What is missing is the courage to listen without fear of the answer. The fifth sign is the deepest and perhaps the most painful of all. When by his side you feel that you are losing yourself. You stop laughing like before, stop dreaming as you once did, lose the connection with your own passions. It is as if your life had to shrink just to fit in his presence. Angels always guide you back within, to the reunion with your soul, to the rescue of your truth. And if this relationship makes you lose who you are, then this is heaven's loudest cry. It is not love, it is a prison disguised as companionship. It is natural that your heart wants to resist these signs. The mind creates excuses, justifies behaviors, feeds hopes of change, but angels ask you to look beyond illusions. Real love brings light, not shadow, growth, not stagnation, peace, not inner war. You deserve to be loved so deeply and so purely that no doubt can ever steal your serenity. Angels repeat in every way possible, love is not meant to wound, it is meant to heal. When you ignore these signs, life only becomes heavier. You feel as if you carry the world on your shoulders, but in truth you only carry his absence. Angels collect every tear you shed and transform that pain into strength. They sustain you on the days you think you cannot go on. Every tightness in your chest, every sleepless night, every silent prayer reaches them, and in response, they place little clues around you, lyrics in songs, passages in books, unexpected words in conversations, all to awaken you, to show that you deserve more than begging for affection. Angels ask you to remember who you were before him, the woman full of dreams, spontaneous laughter, and her own desires. That version of you still exists, just asleep. They want you to awaken her, because life still holds true loves, encounters that will make your heart bloom instead of bleed. You were not born to live chained to the fear of loneliness. You were born to feel complete, even on your own, because only then will you be ready for the love that truly matters. Your steps may feel heavy now, but do not forget, every decision to walk away is an act of courage guided by heaven. Angels are by your side even when you think you are alone. They hold your hand in silence, lift you when you stumble, and lead you away from what was never meant for you. Trusting the signs is opening the door for destiny to bring what you truly deserve. Life always rewards the one who chooses herself. And choosing yourself is not selfishness, it is self-love. It is telling the universe, I deserve more, I deserve to be happy. This is the greatest act of faith you can give. And in this very moment, angels are smiling, because they know the day you set your heart free will be the day life finally surprises you with a love so pure that you will understand. Nothing was in vain. Every tear was the seed of a brighter future. Your heart will not remain empty forever. Emptiness is only space being cleared so the real love can arrive. And it will arrive. Angels are already preparing encounters, aligning paths, taking care of invisible details you cannot yet see. Until then, keep walking, trust the process, breathe deeply, and remember, if he is not the right man, it does not mean love does not exist for you. It only means angels are clearing your way so that the true one can find the open door of your heart. When that day comes, you will look back and understand why you had to go through it all. You will thank every sign, even the ones that made you cry, because in truth, each sign was a map, and that map is now leading you away from what destroys you and toward what will rebuild you. Angels never fail, they only insist, and the more you trust, the faster the love that was always yours will find its way to you. Angels know that you have cried in silence many times, holding your phone in your hand, waiting for a message that never came. They see every moment when your heart tightens as you notice he was online, but didn't he speak to you? And yet, you invent excuses. You tell yourself, maybe he is busy, maybe the problem is you. But no, the problem is not you. The problem is that this man was never sent to be your shelter. That is why angels make the silence so deafening, so that you realize that insisting on someone who does not vibrate at the same frequency is moving further away from the destiny already prepared for your heart. Angel signs do not always come in dreams or visions. Often they appear in the small discomforts of daily life. You notice you smile less, that you avoid certain topics because you know he will criticize, that you would rather stay quiet than risk an argument. This constant self-control is a heavy burden, and your soul feels it. Angels make that weight grow stronger because they do not want to see you chained to a false idea of love. They know that true love never asks you to erase yourself. It allows you to flourish more and more. True love has the power of a pure spring, refreshing the thirst of the soul. But when you drink from the wrong fountain, the water tastes bitter and leaves your throat dry. This is what angels want you to understand. You have been settling for crumbs, for empty words, for promises that are never kept. They place each disappointment in your path like a red flag, like an urgent warning. Daughter, this is not the man we chose to walk by your side. And the more you insist, the stronger the emptiness becomes, until it is impossible to ignore. Angelic silence never means absence. On the contrary, it means protection. They are in every detail, in that song that plays and describes exactly what you feel, in that unexpected conversation with a friend that speaks directly to your soul, in that sudden thought whispering, "You deserve more." These are angelic whispers, and they repeat themselves only because you have not yet listened with the attention they deserve. The universe never tires of trying to open your eyes, because it knows that deep within you lives a strong woman, even if today you feel fragile. Angels also show signs through your body. Have you noticed how, when you think of him, you feel a tight chest, a stomach ache, an unexplainable heaviness? That is not just anxiety. It is your soul warning you that something is wrong. The body becomes a channel for heaven's voice. If instead of lightness you feel weight, it is because angels are guiding you back toward balance. The love that comes from above never makes your body sick. On the contrary, it heals, strengthens, and brings peace even to your breathing. When you are in the wrong relationship, even time seems to drag. Days feel heavy, nights become long, and joy loses its brightness. It is as if life itself has lost its color. And angels do not want you to live in black and white. They want you to live in shades of light, with a soul illuminated and a heart rejoicing. That is why they keep multiplying the signs even when you try to ignore them, because they know your mission is much greater than being trapped in a love that does not recognize you. If you feel you must constantly prove your worth, that is another warning. True love does not demand diplomas of worthiness. It simply happens. It welcomes you as you are. Angels are beside you with every tear you shed, blowing strength into your soul so you lift your head and realize no one truly sent into your life will ever make you feel invisible. If you feel invisible, it is because he is not the right man for you. It is time to understand that signs are not punishments, but gifts. Each time an angel removes your peace, each time they intensify the emptiness, they are protecting you from something worse. It is like a guard at the door of your heart, preventing someone from destroying what you hold most precious, your essence. And no matter how painful it is to accept, this pain is temporary. The true pain would be insisting on staying where there is no real love. Angels want you to know that walking away from him is not losing, it is regaining your freedom. Angels know your soul better than anyone else. They know how much you have dreamed of living a true love story, how many times you have imagined a future holding hands, building something solid. But they also know when that dream turns into a disguised prison. The third great warning is when you realize that in order to sustain this relationship, you constantly have to give up on yourself. You drop hobbies, abandon plans, decline invitations, silence your opinions, and suddenly your life begins to revolve only around him. This exaggerated renunciation is not a sacrifice of love. It is a sign of imprisonment. And angels insist, love does not ask you to erase yourself. It asks you to shine even brighter. Angels place signs not only in your emotions, but also in the way time behaves by his side. Have you noticed how the hours feel heavy when you are with him? As if every conversation were a test of endurance and every meeting an emotional marathon? That is no coincidence. Time, when shared with the right person, flies with joy. But when it drags, it is because your soul is out of tune. Angels even use the clock as a tool of warning. If life by his side feels stagnant, it is because your destiny is not on that road. When love is true, it strengthens self-esteem. But if every word he speaks feels like a sharp blade, if every gesture makes you question your worth, angels are silently shouting for you to notice. The fourth great sign is the erosion of your confidence. If you feel you are never enough, if everything you do is criticized, it is because you are standing on barren ground. Love that diminishes cannot blossom. Angels repeat tirelessly, "You were born to be celebrated, not reduced." They want you to see your own beauty again, to recover the pride of who you are, because that is the energy that will open the path to a real and fulfilling love encounter. Angels also speak through what happens around you, repetitive situations, coincidences, seemingly random encounters. How many times have you heard someone say, "You deserve someone better"? How many times have you read phrases in books, on social media, or even on street signs that seem to speak directly to your pain? That is not chance. It is divine intervention. Angels use the physical world to speak to you because they know your mind keeps denying what your heart already feels. Every phrase that seems like a message is exactly that, a message, an attempt to open your eyes. When your soul is in the wrong place, even nature seems to react. The heaviness in your body, the constant headaches, the lack of energy, the feeling that something is wrong, all of this is the invisible language of angels. They do not want to see you wither away in the name of a love that does not exist. They want to see you bloom like a tree in spring, full of life, color, and fruit. That is why they let physical discomfort intensify until you can no longer ignore it. The body becomes the voice of the soul, and the soul becomes the voice of heaven. The fifth great sign, the one that ties all the others together, is the feeling of emptiness. No matter how much you give, no matter how hard you try, the emptiness always returns. It is as if every hug were cold, every word insufficient, every promise smoke. And angels know that this emptiness cannot be filled by him because he was never the chosen one. The emptiness will only be filled when you accept that you deserve more. When you let go of what is not true to make space for what really is. This emptiness is a calling, and the sooner you respond, the sooner life will bring the fulfillment you so deeply desire. Angels are not against you. They are for you. They do not want you to suffer, but if they allow you to see the suffering, it is only so that you awaken. It is like a gentle push pulling you away from the edge of the cliff before it is too late. Every tear you shed is gathered by them, transformed into invisible strength that, little by little, builds courage within you. They have never abandoned you and they never will. They are only waiting for you to finally listen. Angels ask you to remember something essential. Choosing yourself will never be selfish. It will always be courage. Every time you remain where there is no love, you abandon yourself. But every time you walk away from someone who is not meant for you, you make space for destiny to fulfill its role. The sixth great angelic sign is when life itself begins to block the path of this relationship. Arguments without reason, meetings that never happen, plans that fall apart, growing distances. This is not bad luck, it is protection. Angels close doors so that you do not keep trying to force open paths that were never meant for you. And the more you push, the heavier everything becomes. This resistance of life is heaven's invisible hand saying, "Daughter, do not insist, something greater has been prepared for you." Have you noticed how your energy shifts when he is not around? The seventh sign arises in contrast. When you are alone or with others, your laughter flows more freely, your soul feels lighter, your thoughts are clearer. But when he appears, the laughter fades, the lightness disappears, and your heart grows heavy. Angels use this contrast as a mirror, so you can see the difference between living and merely surviving. They do not want you to confuse habit with love, presence with destiny. True love makes you feel more alive, never less. Angels also work in the invisible future. Many times they remove someone from your path because they know that further ahead, this person would bring even greater destruction. That is why, when he leaves, no matter how painful it feels, you must see it as liberation, not loss. The eighth angelic sign is precisely this sudden, unexplained distancing. When he vanishes, withdraws, builds barriers, or chooses to leave, do not see it as rejection, see it as salvation. Angels know what you do not. They see wounds you cannot yet see, and they remove this man before the damage becomes irreversible. The ninth sign appears in the reflection of your own heart. You begin to doubt yourself, constantly asking if you are wrong, if you deserve little, if you are worthy of love. This doubt does not come from heaven. It comes from living with someone who does not recognize your value. Angels whisper to your heart the reminder that you are a daughter of light, created to be loved with intensity and truth. When doubt grows stronger than certainty, that is a powerful sign you must walk away. Because real love never makes you question if you are enough. It simply surrounds you with the certainty that you are. The angels also know you fear the future, fear of being alone, fear of never finding someone again. But they also know that these fears are prisons. The 10th angelic sign is when life begins to push you towards self-discovery. You feel the urge to reconnect with yourself, to recover old dreams, to pursue passions you had set aside. This is not coincidence, it is preparation. Angels are rebuilding you, piece by piece, so that you will be ready to receive a true love. They do not want you to merely survive the emptiness. They want you to bloom through it. Because they know that after the darkest night, the sun always rises. At this point, you must make the most important decision: to keep insisting on someone who is not meant for you, or to trust that the angels have something infinitely greater prepared. True love never arrives while the door to the false one is still open. Angels do not ask you to rush, only to trust, to take the first step away from what diminishes you, to believe that even if it hurts now, this pain is only the birth of a new life. They will be by your side through every tear, every silence, every new beginning. And when you least expect it, you will look back and give thanks for every sign, because each warning was what brought you to the love you always deserved.